Hello guys, and welcome to Soccer Robot 956. Today we're going to do something different. Since Halloween is upon us, as you guys may know, it's already a couple of days, it's almost going to be here. I've decided to make a brand new video, Halloween themed, for you guys. But what we're going to do in this video, we're going to rank the top 10 films to watch on Halloween. Simple as that. My top 10 films that I like to watch on Halloween Day, or on October, basically, to lead up to Halloween, or on Halloween Day, it doesn't matter. But these films have a special place in my heart, and I like to watch them. I like to watch them especially on Halloween Day. So let's get to it. Let's rate from the top 10 films to watch on Halloween. First on our list is Child's Play, specifically this one, Child's Play. These are alright. This one's good, really good. These, I don't know. My opinion, maybe Curse of Chucky's good, but no. Specifically, the top 10 spot goes to Child's Play, the first one. And the reason why I chose Chucky, to include Chucky in this list, is because, I mean, he's an icon. He's an icon. He's a great... Everybody dressing up as Chucky every year. I mean, it's a great film to watch on Halloween. Like, literally, this film is the embodiment of fear for any child under the age of 10. I mean, who wouldn't be scared of a tiny Cabbage Patch doll running around with a knife? Who wouldn't? Also, this film surpasses time. And to this day, it holds up one of the best horror icons in horror pop culture, which is Chucky. This is why I believe Child's Play deserves the 10th spot in this video. The movie is very well paced. It's not boring to anyone who watches it. Honestly, for me, watching it last week made me clear up some things about this film. The film, starting with number one, the film has surpassed time so well. Number two, it feels tense, not like the other films, the rest in the Chucky franchise. And finally, number three, it set up Chucky for the rest of the franchise, racking up 7 films for writer Don Mancini and for the character of Chucky. And for that, we have to thank Don Mancini for creating one of the most influential horror icons of all time. I mean, Chucky is in there. Chucky is a great he's a great character. He's a great horror icon. He's in there. Pop culture has him all over the place, and this is why I believe that this is one of my favorite movies to watch on Halloween, on October, on Halloween. Child's Play is one of my favorites, and I have to thank that all the thanks go to Don Mancini for creating this amazing character and for keeping it alive. I do not like the reboot though, the remake. I did not like it. I'm not a fan of it, but I do like Child's Play, the first one. It is very tense. And it is scary for kids, if you think about it. Kids are scared of this thing. At least for me. When I was a child, I was scared of Chucky. And this is why I think it deserves the 10th spot in my top 10 of horror movies to watch on Halloween. Coming in at number 9, we have Psycho. Here it is. The Psycho DVD. This is a classic. This is a classic. This is a must-watch anytime. not just in October and Halloween. This is a classic. It's a masterpiece. It is one of Alfred Hitchcock's best films, to be honest. Here we go. It's another horror icon, to be honest. He's one of the most complex, to be honest, as well. The character of Norman Bates is so iconic, and this film by Alfred Hitchcock brings us a story about a child, basically, tormented by his mother, and that taught him that all women are whores. You know what I mean? And now, as an adult, he has developed this love for his mother, this obsession for his mother, to the point where his mom lives in his mind, and he dresses up as his mom, and his mom basically like possesses him, kind of. The mother is dead, but she is alive in his mind, and is doing all the killings basically in the Bates Motel, killing anybody who would stand in the way of the relationship between her and his son. But it's Norman Bates. You know what I mean? It's a character that is very complex, and it's one of cinema's most amazing character, to be honest with you. Norman Bates. He's one of the horror icons as well. This film by Alfred Hitchcock also has amazing cinematography, one of the best ever seen in all of movie cinema. It's a classic, and it should be included. You should watch it in Halloween. It's an amazing film, and also it's a crime. It's a crime not to put it in this top 10. It's one of the best movies by Alfred Hitchcock, and I think that his work, this film specifically, has transcended time as well. The shower scene is iconic to any horror fan. That scene is iconic. But yeah, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho takes spot number 9, and I was gonna put it higher, but I said nah. I think number 9 is right about right. And next we have Nightmare on Elm Street. Here it is. I have the 7 film collection, as you can see right here, but specifically Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, the original one, the one and only. I think that it's the best one out of the whole franchise, and I think that to watch it on Halloween, why not? It's one of the best horror films that Wes Craven has ever done. Wes Craven crafted one of the cinema's most witty and charismatic characters to this day in horror. That's what I think. Freddy Krueger's presence in this film, played by the one and only Robert Englund, is the reason why some people love this franchise, to be honest with you. And what better way to kick it off than with the first Nightmare on Elm Street, the first installment. Freddy in the first installment of the franchise is probably the most scariest, to be honest with you. And I give props to Robert Englund. He does an amazing job, but he looks terrifying in the first installment of the movie. He looks scary. He actually looks kind of burned, not like the other movies. Maybe number 2 is alright as well, but no, I still think the first one is the best one in the franchise. Wes Craven also delivers very, very good in the horror aspect of this film. The first kill in this movie is amazing. Like, she gets dragged, like she gets dragged in the roof, bleeding. The gore, you know, it really shows. He did a lot of good effects in this movie, Wes Craven, to deliver one of cinema's most astonishing films. You know what I mean? It's really good. It's anybody should watch this film. This film is sublime. Um, and also the fact that a killer haunts you in your dreams and kills you in your sleep. That is terrifying. That is why Nightmare on Elm Street takes the 8th spot in this top, and I think as well it would be not fair if I don't include it. Having that shirt right here, it's a great horror icon, and also one of cinema's most recognized horror icons as well. He is very charismatic in the rest of the other films, but in this one, he looks more serious. The character of Freddy Krueger is more serious. His kills are not like comedic as the other ones. This is why the film is the best, and it's the most it's the most horror that you could see in any of the other movies. It's astonishing the effects that Wes Craven was able to achieve in this film, and that is why it deserves the 8th spot in this top. And I'm very proud of having it in the 8th spot, if you tell me. Oh God. Ugh, it looks like she's gonna come out. Coming in at number 7, we have The Ring, specifically Part 1. 2 was somewhat alright, but it wasn't as good as the first one. The first one is more investing, more better. It's better than the first one is better. I don't know why, but all the movies that I'm putting on this top are usually the first film, and it's good. It's good to put the original films. This movie, The Ring, is scary from beginning to end. The Ring is one of those movies that have you invested since the first scene. With that scene where it implies that something killed the two girls that were there in the first scene. The movie's pacing is great as well. It unravels why the tape kills you when you watch it. The atmosphere also in this film is very present. It's very scary, the atmosphere is number one in this movie. Number one in atmosphere. I mean, just look at her. I mean, that looks terrifying. I don't know about y'all, but it's unnerving to see that, you know. But overall, the film is like that. It's unnerving to watch. It's a little creepy at times. But nothing is more scary than the ending of this film. I'm telling you, like, when we finally see Samara crawl out of the TV, I'm scared that she's gonna crawl out. I hope she doesn't. When we finally see her crawl out of the TV and kill that guy, I mean, it's one of the most iconic scenes in all of cinema history. It's unnerving. Just watching her right here, it's giving me the creeps. I don't know if you guys notice it in my tone of voice and stuff like that, but curiosity kills you if you watch the tape. You know what I mean? But overall, the movie deserves to be in this top for a number of reasons. Number one, I think the protagonist, Naomi Watts, did an amazing job, as well as the kid. This is why I think it stands out, because it's very well acted as well. I give props to the director, Hideo Nakata. I think he's Japanese. He delivers. He gives atmosphere to this film. The atmosphere is present, and I think that's the number one thing in a movie, in a scary movie, is the atmosphere. And the atmosphere is the number one in this film. It does not fail. The movie knows its purpose. It knows what it wants. It knows what it wants the viewer to feel. And it accomplishes that. It really accomplishes it. And that's why The Ring deserves the 7th spot in this top. It's a great film. You can't go wrong with The Ring. I mean, it already looks creepy enough right here, if you tell me. Imagine watching it. It's a good movie. Believe me. That's why it deserves number 7. I think it's a perfect spot because of all the other films that are in this top. But hey, I hope she doesn't crawl out because she's number 7. But I mean, that's what she gets. Coming in at number 6, we have Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Great film by Stanley Kubrick. A true classic based on the book by Stephen King. The Shining is an example why movies by Stanley Kubrick are great. The movie's pacing is great, even though it's 2.5 hours runtime. It delivers in atmospheric horror. I mean, the fact that Jack Torrance is going nuts in the Overlook Hotel is terrifying. Imagine someone you love, your father, trying to kill you. The gift that Danny has to see to shine and to see the ghostly presence in the hotel. It also adds to the atmospheric of the film, the atmospheric psychological terror, I believe. It's scary. It's scary. It's delivered. The soundtrack, the sound editing is phenomenal by the editors of this film. It's a true classic. It's a must watch. I mean, this man, Jack Torrance, was influenced by the presences in the Overlook Hotel, and he was so committed to the hotel that he wanted to do acts of violence against his family. And it's something that's it's very psychological, and it stays in that thing, that taste that Stanley Kubrick loves, which is psychological horror. The fact that Stanley Kubrick always wants to do psychological horror, and I think that's why it earns its spot in the sixth. Number 6, it's psychological horror. It's one of the best psychological horrors you'll see. It's terrifying. It's a classic. It should be watched. In this time, especially Halloween. It's just very long. It's very, very long, but I promise that each scene it doesn't bore you. Each scene has a purpose, leading up to the finale of the film, the iconic Jack Torrance chase with his wife, trying to basically kill Danny, and with the red rum words, all that is iconic, and I think it deserves the 6th spot in this top. It's a great film, atmospheric, scary. It's amazing, a true classic by Stanley Kubrick. Recommend it, and it's one of the best. And coming up in number 5 is Friday the 13th, specifically Part 2. Part 2 is my personal favorite from the whole franchise. You can see right here, Part 2. And I'm going to tell you why. Of course, in this top 10, Jason cannot be absent. Jason is one of the best, iconic, as well as the other Freddy and Chucky. He's one of them, and he has to be included in this top. Honestly, why did I choose Part 2? I'm going to tell you right now. I think that it's the best for a couple of reasons. Number 1, it's the first film where Jason is the killer, finally. Part 1 it was the mother. Now in Part 2 it's him. Number 2, it's the film where he is probably the angriest because his mother got killed by one of the people there in the Camp Crystal Lake, and he is out for revenge. He's probably the most thirstiest. He is out to get revenge. He is out to get revenge, and it's not gonna be pretty. Also, in this movie, I think he had the best look. To be honest with you, he had the sack instead of the mask. He would get the mask later in part 3, but I think my personal favorite is where he has the sack. It's good. It's good. He looks good. He looks terrifying. He looks almost like a scarecrow, to be honest. And reason number 3 why this movie deserves its 5th position is because when I was watching this film for the first time, there was this jump scare at the end, like nearing the end, that was so like out of nowhere. Like I was like, okay, like it was already too late. Like I was like watching it, and then boom, he just comes through the window, like without the sack, and I was like, oh damn! Like I thought, I really didn't see that coming. It's kind of like in the first one where he jumps out of the boat and grabs her. It's kind of the same thing, but in this one it was just so unexpected. He just came out of nowhere and just got her, and that is where I said, nah, this movie is good. Also, it's probably the most entertaining in the whole franchise. It has some of the best kills as well. I mean, it's Jason. You can't go wrong with Jason. So that's why this movie deserves the 5th position in this top 10. Coming in at number 4, we have Hereditary. Ooh. This movie is great. This movie is the reason why I love Ari Aster. This is director Ari Aster's debut film, Hereditary. And this movie was just enough for me to like this director. This film holds up to me as one of the all-time greats in horror history. Everything from its astonishing cinematography to its amazing music that adds that creepiness and eeriness to each scene. I mean, this director really wraps you. He literally wraps you in a form that is making you uncomfortable sometimes. With what he shows you on the screen, you know what I mean? He shocks you most of the times. There's shocking scenes in this movie. I mean, there's some stuff that happens in this movie that I cannot say if you haven't watched the film. I mean, I watched this movie in a theater, and I'm glad I did, because I had an amazing experience at the theater when I went to go watch this back in 2018, I believe. And I think that Ari Aster is the master of making you feel like shocked. You know what I mean? Horror, like it's great what you see on screen. It makes you uncomfortable at times what you see on screen. This movie is not for everybody, to be honest with you. Some things are very shocking, what you're gonna see. When I say shocking, is like you're like, oh, so you dare to do that? Okay. You know, like, it's creepy. This movie is creepy as hell. Like, I cannot spoil anything about the movie because it's very, like, even watching it, like, watch the trailer leads you off some things about the plot, you know what I mean? But I think what I like about this director is the fact that he can make you uncomfortable. There are some shots in this movie that you literally, like, there's this beautiful wides that he does in this movie. They're like big wide shots, and you literally have to, like some parts are dark, and you literally see things hidden there. You know what I mean? I mean, this movie is one of the all-time greats to me. It really holds up as one of them. I mean, it's not that much. It's not that much as Halloween. You know what I mean? Like Halloween themed. You know what I mean? But it's a very creepy film that makes you wonder, like, hey, this can really happen. You know what I mean? It's a shocking movie, and I think that the way this director delivers with this film, with this film for his debut, and also his other movie Midsommar is pretty good as well. It's almost like art. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like he's showing you like an art horror film, and it's really great. I really recommend you watch Midsommar as well. Some people criticize him because they say that he copies other movies. Like this movie, they said that it was kind of like Rosemary's Baby. I've never watched Rosemary's Baby. Maybe I should. Maybe it's more better. But this movie, man, it's creepy, and the ending is shocking as well. The ending makes it seem like everything was fixed for that to happen. You know what I mean? It's a movie that really is really gonna stay with me for a long time. And also the dialogues. The dialogues are so beautifully written. You know what I mean? Like the acting as well by Toni Collette. I think that's her name. The lead actress. Her. She does an amazing job as well. This is where I actually discovered her. And then I saw her in the other movie, Knives Out. But this film really stands out for her. I mean, there's a scene where she acts. There's like a dinner scene. And like she acts her heart out. She does an amazing job acting. And I know this movie is not that much of Halloween, you know. But it is a creepy one that you should watch for Halloween. And my God, I'm speechless from this movie. I really am. This is the film that is gonna make some people traumatized. To be honest, like it's great. It's a great film, and I definitely recommend it for you to watch it. Take a good look at it. Hereditary, and I'm telling you, this guy Ari Aster, this director, is gonna make more films that are gonna engage more people to watch his movies. Like, I have no idea, but this guy's amazing at what he does, and he's amazing. He's cool. I mean, like, for real, this is his best film, and it was his first film, and it's amazing, and that's why he deserves the 4th spot in this top. And I mean, it's a great film. Watch it on Halloween. It's a creepy movie. It's gonna creep you out. Coming in at number 3, we have Halloween, the original 1978, the one that started it all. Boom, boom, boom. Michael Myers, the glorious night that he comes home. This would not be a top 10 if we did not include Michael Myers, the famous slasher that we all know and love. John Carpenter's Halloween delivers in kicking off Michael Myers, basically. I honestly don't like the other movies except this one. The classic is the one that started it all, guys. I mean, the kills aren't that violent, like in the Rob Zombie movies. Have you seen the Rob Zombie? Some people say he vitalized the franchise, that he brought it back, that he rose it up. But in my opinion, he exaggerates on the violence. You know what I mean? What you need to focus, and this is what John Carpenter did. What you need to focus on is on the atmosphere and the creepiness of the film. You know what I mean? It's the music as well, composed by like made for the film. The music of this film is amazing. It's iconic. We all know it. We all love it. And also Jamie Lee Curtis gives off a great performance in this film as well as Laurie Strode. I think that her work, I think this film was the most influential for the slashers to come. Carpenter knocked it out of the park. I watched this movie literally like a week ago, and I gotta tell you, this movie is good. This movie is fun to watch. Uh, I thought I was raised watching Rob Zombie Halloween movies, and comparing it to this one, the pace of this one feels more subtle, like better than Rob Zombie. And also I've watched the new one that came out, which was supposed to be like kind of like a sequel to this one, the 2018. And to be honest with you, that one tried to add like a comedic tone to it. But no, this one is the one you want to watch. The original Halloween. As you can see the shirt right there. I mean, I don't have it there for any reason. It's because this one deserves a spot in this top 10, and I think the number 3rd spot is the most appropriate for it. And it would be ridiculous for me to put it on the first spot, because the first spot I think deserves it. And you'll see right now which one's the first spot. Clocking in at number 2, we have the one and only Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003. This movie, I really doubted it and put it in the second spot. But after viewing it yesterday, it blew me. It really did. This movie is great. It is great. It is tense. It is all I want in a horror movie, and that is why I'm putting it in the second spot. Shockingly, I strongly recommend this one. That's why I put it in the second spot. The movie does what all the other slashers, slashers sometimes lack, and that is making you believe that this can really happen. I mean, I live in Texas, and I can tell you there is a lot of land, abandoned towns and stuff like that, and sometimes you meet people that are like, you know what, like from like the countryside, and it's scary. Director Marcus Nipsel set a name for himself after this movie. I think he went out to direct the Friday the 13th remake, and also I'm not too sure. I think he also did the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, which they're all right. They're not the best, but they're all right. But this is his film. This is Marcus Nipsel's film. He did an amazing job in this movie, in execution, direction, pace. I mean, it doesn't feel slow at all. It feels perfect how it should be. This movie clocks in at 138, and this movie really doesn't feel like it's 130. It feels a little bit longer. Like, you know, when you're enjoying a movie, it just goes a little bit slower. That's how it felt. And this one was great, man. I don't know, he did really score. Everything from the setting of Texas as well as the way he directed the film, it works for me. You are interested in this movie from start to finish. The music, as well as the way Leatherface looks. He looks big, you know. He doesn't look tiny like in the other movies, like in the 3D. He looks tiny, and the original ones, he looks alright. I respect the originals. I don't mess with the originals, but I know those sequels weren't that good and makes Leatherface look bad. No, this movie literally makes Leatherface look tough and strong. I mean, look at him. Look at him, like he's fucking strong. Like he's strong. He's good. Like he's fantastic. I mean, the setting also, it looks dirty and gritty. You know what I mean? Dark, gritty. It gives a tone that this is the way these people live. The Hewitt family, the ones that operate with Leatherface, and you really get to explore every character in the Hewitt family in this one. I don't know, but this one is the best that you could ever watch for Halloween. Well, one of the best, because we still got number 1, but it's good. It's a good movie. It's scary, it's tense, it's good. You'll like it. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. The critics don't like it because they like the first one, the original one, the 1974 or 73, I believe, which I totally respect. That movie has it's good things, you know. But when I want to watch a film, I want to watch an engaging film, and this is one of them. This is an engaging horror film. It is tense. You feel for the character. I think her name is Bailey, the actress. She does an amazing job as well. She really does a number on Leatherface. I'll tell you that. The movie gave us a real hero, which is the main actress. She does an amazing job as well. And also, this movie sets it up like a documentary in a perfect fashion, ending it with that lost tape at the end. Man, I don't know what to tell you. This film is good. This film is one of the best slashers you're going to see. It is well paced. It is well directed by Marcus Nipsel, and you need to watch it this Halloween. It's great. Any Halloween, this Halloween, any Halloween. This is a great film to watch. Totally recommend it. That's why it earns its second spot in this top 10. Now our number 1 spot goes to Trick or Treat, the 2007 film by Michael Dougherty. Here it is in DVD. This movie is the best in this top for numbers of reasons. But the question that I'm going to ask you, that you guys are probably asking, why is Trick or Treat the best movie? Why is it the best movie? Well, because it shows us not only just one story. No, it shows us 4 interwoven stories all happening the same night, Halloween night, perfectly written by Michael Dougherty. They're perfectly written. It's like a comic book. Like, the execution of this movie is astounding by Michael Dougherty. The movie's pacing is perfect as well. The first story is about a high school principal that is basically a serial killer, and then it unfolds from there. And then that story is connected to another story, to the other one. They're all like, it's all connected. It's all the same. You know what I mean? And then the second story is about a girl who is trying to lose her virginity, but it has a dark twist, which I won't tell you the twist. You need to watch it. If you've watched it, you're gonna be like, oh, that's why. Like, it makes you think like something's gonna happen with her story arc, but actually no. It actually shifts the tables, which I won't mention, but it shifts the tables, and it really brings a real twist to the film, and that I did not really see coming. But yeah. And the third story is about these kids that do a prank. I mean, who doesn't do a prank on Halloween night? You know what I mean? Like, these young kids going out. They do a prank, but then the prank goes horribly wrong. Horribly wrong for the worst. And it goes bad. Just goes bad from there. The final story is about, I think it's the most interesting one to me, my personal, is about an old man who lives in a house, and he fights the infamous little demon that's right here, which I won't get into, but it has to do a lot with the story. It's a story between them two. I won't get into it because you have to see it, but it's very good. It's very tense scene, very interesting. All the scenes are tense, but that one is specifically, I loved it so much because the way it's connected to him and to the old man, and also how that scene is connected to the first scene with the serial killer guy. Very well executed. They're all connected. There are 4 stories, not only one, 4 stories all happening in the same night, and this is why I think it's the best movie. And it's like a comic book. Like, the director presents it to you like if it's a comic book. The music is very tense as well. Uh, I mean, this movie is very underrated. It's extremely underrated, and some like, come on, man. This movie is a Halloween. This is a true Halloween movie that should be watched by everyone. It's creepy. It's tense. 4 stories. What else do you want? All happening the same night. Even me just telling you right now makes it interesting. But watching it is another thing, and this movie really delivers. It's a great film to watch on Halloween night, Halloween on October. Watch it. It's a must watch. And I don't know what to say. It's very underrated. Very few people have seen it. Came out in 2007. I believe it didn't get a theatrical release. It only got a DVD release. And it's a great film. It's a great film. I was really astonished by this film, and it deserves to be watched on Halloween night. Specifically on Halloween night, because it's a great film. You need to watch it, and I believe that it's the greatest film to watch on Halloween or on October. It's the best. So as you can see, those are my top 10 movies to watch on Halloween night or the month of October. Um, this is my first top 10 that I've ever done. I had fun. I hope you did as well. Um, Watch them. Film is films. Scary movies are what we all love in the month of October, and I'm pretty sure you can find other movies. If you want, in the comments below, you could tell me which movies did I leave out. Maybe there was another better movie than the ones that I listed on here. But for now, these are my top 10 movies that I listed on this top. But I'm always open to hearing anything that you guys have, any opinions, any other movies that you like, and like always, comment what other movies you think would have made it on this one. Like, comment, and subscribe, and watch all the movies that you want, and happy Halloween.